Welcome to JNE News Dash, where two full-time realtors become part-time newscasters. And today we have Lucas on board.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, and it has been a crazy past 1 week last week. Very exciting.
Yes. So elections week just ended.
Yep, free public holiday.
Yeah.
For most people, maybe not us.
Not us.
Right, yeah, so who do you vote for, Lucas?
Well, 70% of the votes went to one person, so the high likelihood of us voting for the same person is probably there.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But it's always a secret, We always say we can't say, but
feel free if you want to say it, you can always put in our comments who you voted for.
So today we're going to look at this week news. Very exciting. We have a few land bids coming up in the area. We have updates about luxury market, and without much further ado, let's dive into it. So Lucas, what do you have?
Right, so exciting news. The first GLS launch in Payoh in 8 years.
Wow.
Yes, and it's not a small plot of land. Yeah, it's it can fit about 775 units, right? The land size is that's over 15,000 square meters.
Yes.
Yeah, and does this sound familiar to you?
Wow. Okay, actually, no, honestly, not really. Huh? 15,000?
No, it was a larger land plot by Ang Mo Kio.
Emo Residence. Yes.
And if you remember that time also, Emo Residences was the first GLS in a long time as well, right? 10 years?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and this is like a same story, but it's a different year.
Correct. That's why it was quite hot. 99% sold within the first few days. Crazy. Yes. Understandable.
And that was in 2021. So now 2 years later, we are kind of coming out of the pandemic. We saw a lot of GLS launches already. Some nice plots at Lentor, right? Especially Lentor Hills, right? So the big question is, right, whether or not Toa Payoh will attract the same amount of bids as Emo Residences, which had like 15 bids.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And also, you can see the demand is definitely in there. We're near good schools. In fact, fun fact, this place used to be a police station. And now it was sold back to the government. Government took it back, and now it's revamping to a new site. The last site it came out was right opposite Gem Residences, and it's within a very nice, good memory that I have here. It's near my primary school. Oh, Peichin, Chinese school. 1 km away.
I used to send my kids to the kindergarten, which is right next to Peichin. There's like this factory building. Used to be another real estate agency that rented the whole building. I can't remember what it's called, but it was bought over by Huttons, I think.
I see. Interesting. And my childcare also nearby. So it's a place with good memories. Okay. But one thing to take note is this is definitely a hotly debated site, and we're looking forward to see how it concludes.
Yes. So analysts feel that it'll probably attract about 3 to 5 bids. Surprisingly, I think cautious in their expectations because of the recent a slight slowdown in take-up.
Right.
New launches, But surprisingly, the expected launch price of closing bid for Toa Payoh will be about the same as Emo Residences.
It could be 1,000, 1,002. And this could be due to the recent area harmonization measures that came in. It's a very big topic, but you'll stay tuned to our investment video that's coming. All right.
That's very important. Info,
indeed. And one thing to note is 630 million is still quite huge in terms of the land bid size. But one thing to note is even with that, the area harmonization doesn't mean they bid the land cheaper. It means it will sell cheap. You have to factor in the profit margin in.
That's right. I think similar to Emo Residences, most likely for this quantum, you'll most likely see a joint venture, right?
Yeah, indeed. All right. Okay, let's go on to next news. So yes, Lucas, what do you have?
Rising rents for condos and HDB flats continue to rise.
Yes, and, interesting.
I think a lot of our clients have expected that. I've been talking about this for 2 years already. They keep thinking, it's already very high, but for 2 years keep going up.
They've had 37 months. This is 37 months.
That's right. So rents for HDB flats have increased for 37 straight months. I think a couple of news dashes that we did report like a slight dip, like 0.1%, 0.2%. That's like very minimal.
Right.
So but overall, right, HDB rents climbed by 2% in July. after it already increased 1.4% in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's still not dropping.
Yeah. Condo slightly slower at 1.1%. And then, year on year, condominium rents have increased by 21.6%, meaning at the same time last year, it has increased by 21.6% already.
True.
Mm.
Yeah. And the rental volumes for HDB also increased by 11% in July, so more transaction.
Yeah.
And up from 2,990, it went up to 3,320 in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how there's so many HDB flats being rented out.
True. Maybe those people have held it for a long time and just want to re-rent out, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. So HDB executive flats like EAs and EM saw the highest increase in rents at 4%.
Yeah.
3-room flats had 1.4% increase. 4-room flats 2.4% increase, and 5-room flats 1.9% increase.
Wow.
Yeah. So around the 2% range, but executive flats saw the highest.
Yeah, it seems that people need more space. Oh yes.
Yes,
Yeah. And in fact, citizens who are buying second residential property, because now it faces additional stamp duty of 20% out of 17. The fact that the people actually, psychology may want to rent a higher rate to earn back this ABSD if they ever want to buy one. Yeah. And the average cost of renting a big unit have now went up to 6,006 for prime areas.
Yes. I think what's interesting on the ground is we see a lot of sellers talking to us and asking, well, they want to take opportunity of the high resale market right now, of course. But they are also affected by the high rental market.
Yes, correct.
Right? And then they sell high, they have to kind of buy high. Everything seems high.
Yeah,
so they are kind of like measuring the pros and cons. Maybe they should rent, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but analysts say that rent is not expected to come down anytime soon, right? Let me see. They are looking at about the second half of 2024. Yeah.
Wow.
So another year to go.
Another year to go.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, currently...
Very end of 2023 already.
Wow, time really flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we noticed also the suburbs are the one that have the highest in terms of rental volume at 37.4%, followed by City Fringe at 34.3%, and then followed by Prime District at 28.3%.
Yes.
So very interesting.
So we'll be covering the Prime Districts in the next news.
Yep.
Yeah, which is a nice segue into Singapore's luxury market easing in the first half of 2023.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So
understandable.
Yeah, understandable. And I mean, this is the market that we are specializing in, right? We feel it. We feel it.
You feel it.
I think prices. Okay, from my end, the units that I've sold, actually, they're mostly like still record prices.
Yep.
Right.
Congrats.
But volume definitely decreased. The demand, the number of viewings, a bit slower, and closing times also sometimes takes a bit longer than usual.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But still, closing, right? But the thing is that because of the aggressive rate hikes by the US Feds, right?
Yes.
And plus the cooling measures for foreigners, all this takes into account.
Like a double whammy.
Yeah.
It's true. And that's why some of the units that are in the Lux market recently just transacted, one like a 3-bedder in Newton area. The owner is just wanting to let go, move on, and not fire sale price, but at the same time, it's something that's more reasonable nowadays. Yeah. But it really depends on area, because it's seen for other luxury areas, it reacts differently. And one thing to note, even for GCB deals, Good Class Bungalow, which concluded one recently, that so in the first half of 2023, also not the best, a huge drop as compared to last year.
Yeah.
And definitely compared to the second half of 2022, it also declined by 14.4%. So it's something that we also did notice. With this currently transaction volume, last year was 613 million. Now it's 525 million for the first half. So there's something that we do see that slow down in the Lux market in terms of transaction volume.
Yeah.
Okay, but in terms of the prices, interestingly, for GCB, we noticed that the price did not really decrease. In fact, it rise to 2,760 per square feet. Okay, and luxury apartment also went up to 3,400 per square feet. So it's still on a decent, good upward trend.
Yeah.
Okay, or rather a slight plateau. But the transaction volume, people are a little more reasonable in terms of pricing now.
Yeah, and I think this is also because buyers and people who appreciate GCBs, right? They know there's a good investment value to it, which is why if they can afford, right? And a lot of them don't really take like huge amount of mortgage. We do see full cash buyers sometimes. Yeah.
Mostly are full cash.
Yeah. So
they have strong holding power. Yeah.
Yes,
they're not in the need to like rush and sell.
Yeah. So they're taking an opportunity while the resale interest, or rather the GCB buyer interest is lower now, right? They have more bargaining power. So people who are able to take opportunity right now.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so there's something that we do foresee, and looking forward to how the luxury market will do in the next few years.
Yeah.
There's something that we will see, yes, of course, not much of like a huge boom, but at the same time, maybe up to the end of the rest of the year. But end of the day, the year after next, that could be a different market. And that's something we are still analyzing to give most latest updates in terms of the market trends.
Yeah.
Right.
So besides GCBs, of course, we have the luxury condos, which are transacting like $10 million and up, right?
Yep.
And a lot of Singaporeans always like, hey, why would they buy a luxury condo if they can afford a landed? Different.
Yeah, different.
If you've ever seen a luxury condo, right? Like, wow, I'd rather stay a luxury condo than a landed.
True. I'm a condo person too. I'd rather my fiance to be wife. I was saying
1 more month.
No,
this month.
Week.
It's September already. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so very soon. Yeah, so you're saying that you'd rather stay in the condo high rise than to stay in the landed, although it could be the same cost because she's scared of cockroaches. So so it's like, like a mindset of landed and condo. So, and one thing, of course, take note is for landed, most of this landed can be bought by Singaporeans or rather some PR with LDA approval.
Yeah.
So all these foreigners who are PR, normal PR, want a big space, who want a space of its own, they will consider luxury apartment as an alternative. Yeah, so that's why we see this particular trend that is still on a good run. Despite the cooling measures.
Yes, definitely. We saw lesser foreigner interest after the increase in ABSD to 60%, right? But they're still moving and volume lower, but prices are slowly increasing, right?
Yes,
of course, now there is a easing, but I think we have to wait a while to see how it plays out. I think there's a lot of other factors in play, like if you remember, China right now, there's a second property developer that's going into financial troubles, right? Okay. Which is like reminds us of China Evergrande,
yes,
right? Which is like the trigger for the whole Chinese property slump right now, right? And before China Evergrande has even recovered, right? Now we have a second company that's going down, sure. and I think this causes a lot of people, even if it's like 60% ABSD, right? I do think there is interest, especially from China and America, to purchase Singapore properties just because our property environment is just a lot better.
Stable, definitely. Singapore is different. Developers, they are very prudent in terms of the way they usually make sure sell. And most of the project 99% sold, 100% sold out. And the beauty is their cash flow position. They play a very, very strong cash flow game, rather as compared to that of one that is large scale, uncontrolled, and a lot of speculation. So that's something we don't see, especially for developers in Singapore. So that's it's a good margin to play with. Yeah. All right. So next up, last news of the news dash. All right. Yes, Lucas, can you bring us through?
Yes. So if you guys know Kampong Glam area, a very culturally rich area, full of arts, full of very heritage businesses, right? So they are facing business trouble.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Having trouble to survive, right? In an environment where there's rising rents. Right? And this is a very expensive, very central area.
Yep.
Especially a lot of condo developments have been building up around the area, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I see most of this seems to be like SMEs, like people who are doing trades like like kabaya tailoring, textile stores, rattan crafting. All these are small enterprise. They are at risk of some business cash flow issue due to rising rent. Yeah, because the rent, we look over here in this news, it almost doubled from 8,000 just 5 years ago to now 15 to 17,000. And it's not a very healthy, good business traction because they may not be earning much in the first place. Yeah. And most of these new businesses may not even survive in the first 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is something that this modernization and shopping area will be affecting the heritage businesses.
Yeah.
In fact, we may even foresee like this SME being replaced by the big boys who's coming into this kampong area, shops, city areas to take over all this rent instead.
Yeah. And I tell you, COVID hit this place hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
And especially when online shopping has become so predominantly popular. Let's talk about kabayas, where here kabaya, you can tailor and hand make a kabaya, right? You wouldn't expect that you can actually buy kabayas even on Taobao.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe half the price.
Yeah. Less than half the price.
Less half the price.
Maybe like a buy and throw away price. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. But a handmade kabaya can cost hundreds of dollars. But for less than $100 you can buy on Taobao.
In fact, this tailoring itself, you can even get something from Bangkok. Recently I got the suit. You can actually tailor in Bangkok and send over. They come to Singapore, I tailor for you. They get like 30-40% lower than the normal price. These are things that is arbitrage to some extent.
And talking about this now, we are part of the problem.
We need to reflect in our sins that we have committed.
I'm just very lazy now to go and buy such things like on site. I rather just buy at home. It's a lot. I even taken to like measuring myself. Previously, you don't even do that, right? You just go down, try the clothes, you like it, you buy it. But it's a shifting trend, and unfortunately, these heritage businesses are also trying to adapt. Not all of them, but some of them have actually gone online as well.
Yes, indeed.
And I think what's affecting them as well, what's causing the high rent, right, is that commercial shop houses have become a very popular investment option for people these days. And because of the high prices, people have been selling, right? But when these new buyers buy, they are taking on the current mortgage interest, which everyone knows is high.
Yes, indeed.
Right? And to make their investment worth it, right, they have to charge high rent.
That's how things goes. That's why the rental rates have been higher. And one thing to take note is, even with that, most of these buyer shop houses, they usually don't take a lot of loan in the first place. They use more of cash. But now and then, this does still factor in the factor of like raising the rent so that they can earn back when the fact that they bought at a higher price or so in the first place.
Correct. So there is a community of business owners there called One Kampong Glam, OKG. Right. So they often hold events, like they close off all the streets in Aliwal and Arab Street and things like that. And they have like festivals there, which is like very fun.
It's very nice.
But that is also very expensive to organize. Right? So they can't close the streets all the time. So maybe a couple of times a year. Right? And of course, Aliwal Art Centre is there as well, run by Arts House Limited. So they are connected to the National Arts Council. So they also have a part to play in like organizing arts festivals around the area, like Aliwal Nightcrawl and Urban Arts Festival. So
it's a heritage.
And if you guys don't know, right? Like if you come, you should go down like to have a look if you haven't seen before, because this street, right, is very interesting. It's one of the few streets in Singapore, right, where it's permitted to actually have graffiti.
Oh, wow. Open vandalism.
Okay. Not vandalism. You have to apply for permit. But the government encourages like graffiti in this area. So every once in a while they change the mural on the wall.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting area because very photogenic.
Indeed. Yes, so with this, we come to the end of News Dash.
Yes.
We hope that you enjoyed this video, and we look forward to bring more of this exciting news every week to you, rain or shine. And the most important thing, we hope that you benefit from this.
Yes, and if you like to be updated on the news and investment videos that we come out on a weekly basis, right? You can subscribe to our Telegram group, right? Over there. And yes, that's it for today.
Right. So yes, this is Christian.
This is Lucas.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.